I seriously can't believe that you're actually going to be taking over your parents' farm. I mean, is that really the life you want for yourself? Because if you think that I'm going to be okay with that and just go and be a farmer with you, well, it's just not going to happen. Don't you see that there aren't any good prospects there? I just can't marry a man who is going to take over a family farm. I can't have that be my life, Jean.
Oh, Lily, I had no idea you feel so strongly about the matter. But I did tell you that my family owns a farm that I'm in line to inherit. Besides, being a farmer is probably one of the few jobs with a guaranteed future. I mean, there are less people doing it, and meanwhile, everyone needs to eat. So I get that it might not look so glamorous from the outside, but I want you to know that there's a lot more to it than you think.
But that's not what I'm talking about. I know why farms are important, but if you work on one, then that means getting sweaty every single day. It means having to live out in the country with nothing to do. Well, I can't do that. I want to live in the city. I want to have fun. I want to be able to go out at night.
I see. Well, I'm certainly not going to tell you to begin a life that you aren't excited to lead.
I mean, just look at me. I'm smart, I'm pretty, I already have a good job with a large company. I've been dating you this whole time, and I was just hoping that you would wake up and realize that farming isn't the way to go.
Lily, please. I'm not trying to tear down your dreams, so please don't talk bad about what I want to do with my life, okay? I know that you're not exactly a fan of what it is that I do, but I don't think it's fair for you to put me down like that.
But if I marry you and go live on your farm, then that is going to be the rest of my life. Don't you know that I wanted to find a way to fast-track myself up a company ladder in the future? I thought that I was going to be living in a high-rise condo with a view of the city. I didn't think that I would end up having to live on some smelly old farm.
Well, like I said, I'm not going to tell you not to pursue your dreams.
But why are you insisting on going along with what your parents want for you? Besides, it's not that I'm opposed to being a stay-at-home mom either, but just not in the country. I'm sorry, Jean, but I just really don't think this is going to work out between us. I don't want to see you anymore. I'm going to quit my job.
If that's really what you want to do, then I'm not going to stop you. But you should be telling this to our manager. Besides, I think you would have to put in a 2 weeks notice and tell him exactly what day you're going to be quitting. After all, he'll have to try and find someone to replace you before you go, you know?
Wait, what? You don't actually expect me to go through with that, do you? Then that'll mean I'll have to share working shifts with you for another 2 weeks. That is just not going to happen. Nice try, but it isn't going to work, bub.
Right. I guess I can see now why that wouldn't go so great. But the thing is that the restaurant where we work is attached to a really busy hotel. We're also known in the city for being a really nice place, so if we lose a waitress, things are going to get really hard on us.
Oh, I see. So I guess you're saying that if I don't want to work with you, then all the trouble everyone else is going to face will be all my fault? That isn't fair. You need to take responsibility for this too. In fact, you can do that by working twice as hard so that nobody even realizes that I'm gone.
Lily, please. I think you're being just a little unfair right now. Besides, I still have to go back and forth with my parents to help them on the farm. And anyways, it's just a job, but quitting the right way is important if you wanted to put down the restaurant as a reference on your resume or something. Hello? Are you even reading these messages anymore? Lily?
Hey, Jean, I was just wondering if you already saw the mail that came in today. I left it on the kitchen table if you haven't yet. I guess this came special delivery last night, actually, but there was a wedding invitation that got delivered.
Somebody sent us an invitation to their wedding? I can't really think of anyone I know who would be getting married around now. Maybe we were put on a wait list for someone else's wedding and someone canceled, so now we got their invitations.
I mean, it literally could be anything, but I haven't opened it, so I really don't know. Maybe it's an invitation from one of your clients or something like that? I think the letter said that it was from a Mr. Mark Stufferson, so did you ever work with this guy in the past or something like that?
I'm really scratching my brain here, but I really just have no idea who that could even be. Maybe the letter just got sent here by mistake and there's someone else with my name who was meant to receive this. I really have no idea. I mean, I guess it could be one of my clients and I'm just drawing a blank right now, but yeah.
Yeah, I was pretty surprised when I saw the invitation as well. I mean, I was trying to think of anyone we'd talked to recently that was about to get married. Actually, now that I think about it, I did have a meeting with a guy named Mark Stufferson at work the other day. It was a conference call with a bunch of people, so let me text some people at work to see if they know anything. Wow, that was really fast. Thank goodness my friends text me back so quickly. But I don't think you're going to like what I found. Apparently this Mark guy is getting married to a certain Lily Pierce.
Wait, Lily Pierce. Are you sure about that? Like, are you absolutely sure that's who he's getting married to?
Well, that's why I said you weren't going to like what I had to say. This Lily girl is an ex of yours, isn't she? I remember you telling me that when you two broke up, she threw a big fit about not wanting to work the same shifts as you anymore at your old waiter job, right? But why in the world would Lily and her fiancé be sending us an invitation to their wedding? This is so strange.
Yeah, seriously. I really have no idea what's going on here. I haven't talked to Lily in years, so this really is so sudden.
Well, now I really am wondering if there's been some kind of mistake here.
But I guess this isn't so ridiculous now that I'm thinking about it a little more.
What do you mean? Why do you think they would want to invite us to their wedding then?
Well, it's just that I know Lily has some really bad spending habits. I bet that she's inviting every single person she can think of to her wedding. That way, she can try and maximize the wedding gifts that she's going to get, and then maybe she can sell stuff to pay down her debt. Either that, or she is going to use the wedding as an excuse to ask everyone to buy her expensive brand goods.
Wow, I guess that could be a real possibility of what's going on when you think about it. But from what you've told me, she doesn't sound like the kind of person to marry poor. I bet whoever she's going to marry is really rich, so why would she still be so desperate for wedding gifts?
That is actually a really good point, Kate. I guess we'll have to take a look at the invitation and see if we can't find more clues.
Hello there, Jean. I was just wondering if you got my little wedding invitation that I sent you? Obviously, it's for my wedding. Yes, I am the one getting married, and I just have to have you there, so make sure to send me your RSVP, okay?
Well, I guess this basically confirms who the wedding invitation really came from. So anyways, care to explain why you decided to invite me to your wedding?
Well, if you thought it was because I wanted to get back together with you, then let me go ahead and squash that little fantasy of yours right now. Don't go getting the wrong idea when you do finally decide to come and help me celebrate my wedding to another man, got it? But anyways, I'm sure that you're just so happy to be hearing from me after all this time, aren't you?
I guess it's a pretty neutral feeling for me, to be honest. If anything, I'm a little bit suspicious at what you're trying to pull here. Seriously, why am I invited to your wedding after all this time of not talking?
Well, I sent the wedding invitation to your farm, so if you got it, that must mean that you really did end up taking over from your parents, huh? I just want to know what that life is like. How is it having to get up early to work under the hot sun and feel yourself getting burnt and withering away every second? I know that I made the right choice in leaving you when you told me that was what you were going to do with your life.
I'm sorry, Lily, but it sounds like the one who is getting the wrong idea here is you. But anyways, can you please tell me what you were trying to accomplish by inviting me to your wedding?
Oh, come on. Why are you trying to cut to the chase so quickly? Can't we just talk a little bit? Don't tell me that as a farmer, you don't even have the time to have a nice little chat with an old friend. Am I wasting daylight or something? Ugh. Well, thank goodness I'm not a poor farmer like you who has to worry about that. In fact, you should know that the man I'm engaged to is actually a CEO.
Oh, really? Well, what do you want me to do with that information?
I just wanted you to come to my wedding so that I could rub my rich, successful husband in your dirty face. I just wanted to show you how far I was able to climb and how much I was able to do for myself after you and I broke up. So please make sure that you come, okay?
I see. I guess I should have figured that it was something as petty as this. I knew that you were up to something when you sent those invitations, but I never guessed it was this.
Oh, come on. Don't talk about me as if I'm some kind of criminal or something. Besides, you need to learn to treat your betters with respect. You were the one that chose to lower yourself and become a farmer while I chose the path to fame and fortune.
I'll have you know that I really enjoy the work that I do, and I don't regret any of my choices that have brought me here.
Well, I guess we'll just have to see if you still feel that way after you come to my wedding. So make sure that you show up, okay?
I'm telling you now that if I show up, things are going to go as you think they might.
Oh, Jean, you always were such a stubborn one. Do you know that?
All right, if you're not going to listen to me, then that's on you. But I'll see you at the wedding. In fact, I'm looking forward to going.
Well, you better come. I really want to see you there. My wedding won't be complete without you. How did it feel when I threw my glass of wine all over you? Then again, maybe a farmer like you prefers to have a little grime on him, especially since wine is made of grapes. Anyway, welcome to my wedding. I'm so glad that you could make it here.
You really just don't know when to quit at all, do you? Why are you always looking down on me? You do realize that basically the whole wedding party saw you do that, right?
I know, and it was so funny. I got to humiliate you in front of everyone like that. And now everyone can see what a lowly little farmer you are.
The only person who is going to be humiliated from this is you, Lily. You made a big mistake.
What are you talking about? Do you really think you can get back at me or something? You've lost, don't you get it?
Are you sure about that? Because your fiancé is here begging for my forgiveness.
Wait, what? What are you talking about? There's no way that he's doing that.
Well, Mark is here, and that's exactly what he's doing. You should also know that he's just as furious with you. I actually don't even think this wedding is going to happen anymore.
No, that can't be right. You're lying to me. Why in the world would Mark feel the need to apologize to you? I know that you're lying. You aren't going to fool me.
You can call me a liar all you want, but it isn't going to change what's actually happening.
But wait a second. His parents are looking really, really mad too. What the heck is going on? Why are they demanding that I apologize to you too?
I suppose you just have to talk to your would-be in-laws and find out for yourself. But I'm going to go home and change. Enjoy whatever comes your way next.
Jean, are you there? Please, you have to pick up the phone. I am so sorry for what I did to you. I really had no idea that you were such a big deal in the agricultural world. That's amazing. You've really come so far. I swear that I had no idea you were so rich and powerful now.
Well, we did never ever talk again after you and I broke up, remember? So I guess I'm not surprised you didn't know this.
But, I also had no idea that you and Mark worked so closely together. He tells me that you're one of his most important business partners. If I had known any of that at all, then I would have never done what I did to you.
Yeah, that really isn't the problem with what you did, Lily. You shouldn't be treating anyone that way at all. Do you understand that? I don't care who they are or how much money they have. It's just common courtesy.
I know, and I already said that I was sorry about all of that anyways, didn't I? So, anyways, can you please just talk to Mark and tell him that you're going to let all of this go? Because I realize now that this was all just one big mistake. But I need you to talk to Mark to make sure that this wedding can go on as planned.
I'm sorry, but I think the only mistake here would be helping you carry on with your wedding. I really don't care what excuse you have for yourself. I'm not going to let you get away with this. Besides, it's pretty much exactly like you told me, right?
What do you mean? What did I tell you?
Well, we were texting earlier and you told me that I had to learn my place, right? But are you sure that you know where your place is relative to me, Lily? Because it really doesn't seem like it.
Shut up. Of course I know my place. Don't think that just because you've made some money selling vegetables to people that you can talk to me like that.
I know that you don't have a penny to your name, Lily. Isn't that why you're trying to marry Mark in the first place? So you can have someone to pay for whatever you want? Well, I'm afraid that it's not going to happen now, and it's all because of your terrible ego.
No, Jean, please don't do this to me. I really am sorry, and I never should have spilled my wine on you like I did. Can't we just make up and be friends? We used to date, remember? Surely you must care for me at least a little bit, right?
Do you really think that I have any duty to help you after what you did? Why in the world do you think that I would do that? You took the action, you caused a scene. Now you take responsibility for what you did? And if that means not marrying someone who you're only with for your money, then that's fine with me.
Jean, what happened to you? You used to be such a sweet man. Now you're a total jerk. I'm trying to make up with you and save my marriage, and here you are gloating about making it fall apart.
You still haven't even given me a real apology for what you did to me. Did you know that you ruined one of my favorite shirts with that stunt?
But I said that I was sorry. Isn't that enough? Don't you realize that my whole future is riding on marrying this man? If you screw this up for me, then I don't know what I'm going to do. I need you to help me out here.
I see. I suppose I could help you, but I really just don't care at all about you or your life, and this is none of my business anymore. So anyways, I guess that's that.
No, please, come back to the wedding. You have to come back and help me smooth this out. I am begging you.
How can you beg me to come back when it's all your fault that I left in the first place? Do you even realize that?
Please, I realize the mistake I made, and I really need your help. You can't just go.
You know, even if I did come back, like you're asking me to, there's still no guarantee that Jean would still want to be with you. I have no idea how you two even ended up engaged in the first place, but if I know Mark at all, he is not going to want to go through with this wedding after this.
Well then, what if you and I were to get married instead?
What in the world are you talking about? Did you seriously just ask me that?
Of course. I mean, I really do want to marry you now that I know how rich you are, and you know that you've always loved me deep down, right?
I have no idea what's going on in that head of yours, but you might really need to get it checked. Because if you think that I would ever go along with that, you must really have a couple screws loose.
But I'm trying to tell you that we can get back together. You can't just turn me away after that. I want to get back together with you. Don't you get that?
Even just reading that message made me feel like puking right now. But if you must know, I'm already married and have kids. So why in the world would I want to give all that up and get back with you?
Wait a second. Are you really married? And you have kids too?
That's right. I have a family that I love very much and who I would never give up or turn my back on for anything. In fact, I had completely forgotten that you even existed until I got your wedding invitation.
But who is the girl that you're married to? I bet she isn't half as pretty as I am. Don't you see that we're meant to be together? With your money and my looks, we would make the perfect couple.
Lily, did you even read the messages that I sent you? I am happily married and I have children. You really do need to get that head of yours examined. But if you must know, you actually already know my wife.
Wait, I do? Who is she? Who's your wife?
She's another girl who used to work with us at the restaurant. Remember Kate? Well, after you quit, we were the ones who had to take up all your work, and that ended up bringing us closer together.
And that's the woman you married?
That's right. Apparently, she always liked me but never wanted to say anything since we were dating. But thanks to you leaving, we were able to spend more time together and realize that we do love each other.
I had no idea about any of this.
That's right. And that's why I'm telling you that I don't need or want you in my life.
Please, you have to want to get back with me. Just think of all the good times that we had together. Doesn't that mean anything to you? Don't you see that you still have love in your heart for me?
Yeah, except that I really don't though. So anyways, it sounds to me like you have a lot to deal with over there at the chapel. And I really don't think that we have any reason at all to keep talking with each other, so have a nice life, however it all shakes out. After that, I heard from Mark that he canceled the wedding and called the whole engagement off. So it sounds to me like Lily never did get to live her dream of marrying rich and living inside a high-rise condo. Instead, all she ended up with was a mountain of debt. Apparently, her borrowing was so crazy that she ended up taking money from some pretty shady people. Last I heard, Lily was taken to be with the fishes since she couldn't pay off her debts to these gangsters she borrowed from. And by that, I mean that basically forced to sign a contract to work on a fishing boat for a while. I don't think anyone's heard back from her since then.
Olivia, you're going to get married to a man, and yet you're still going to be poor? And you thought it was a good idea to become the wife of some farmer, huh? You wasted all that time in college just to graduate from there and become part of a farming family? Mom and Dad must be so heartbroken after wasting all their time and energy on you. And I feel the same way, because I expected so much better from you than to find a farmer as the man you want to marry. Vicky, you must have heard about this from Mom then. I was thinking about telling you about this myself, but I guess I'm too late. Well, like she told you, I'm getting married. You are right that my man is a farmer, but I'm not sure why you're talking so poorly about him because of it. He happens to have everything I'd want in a man, and there's nothing about him that makes me feel as though my education or anything is being wasted. I'm aware that you guys aren't married quite yet though, right? Well then, you still have time. There is nothing wrong with going up to him right now and saying you're leaving him. I'd go and do that right now before you get yourself dug in too deep. But really, this has all made me laugh so much. You could have done better than him, ending up with a powerful man like my husband. So go ahead and say whatever you want about what I've said, but you will never be on the level that I am with my husband if you stay with that dirty farmer. If you really want me to treat you with some dignity, then find yourself a proper man to be your husband. I always thought you'd be able to find a proper man too, but dang, you're actually with a farmer now. I hope you make the right decision and leave him now before it's too late. I can even introduce you to some of the men my husband works with if you'd like. You've known that for the longest time now, I've loved plants, and I love growing them and caring for them. And being with a man who's a real farmer has made me very happy. He happens to be just like me, finding fun in growing plants himself and making sure they all turn out okay. And he happens to grow a lot for himself too, so we'll always have some fresh foods on the table. I'm sure to you this might not be the kind of life you'd want to live, and he might not have the money you'd want from a husband, but he is rich in both character and in what the both of us love doing. What? What world do you think you were born in, you loser? This is the 21st century, and we don't need farmers anymore growing food to feed us. You can just go to the store and buy whatever you want there all the time. I get that growing up in our family wasn't that well off, but come on. You can do so much better than settling with a dirty farmer. And having fresh food that you've grown yourself is no excuse for choosing him. I can't believe you just said that to me. My stomach is starting to hurt now from laughing so much. Listen, if you really like plants that much and want a man who shares that same interest, just marry a businessman who has the same interest as you. Huh? At least someone with money and the same hobby as you would be able to get you all those exotic tropical plants and things that we can't grow here, right? All that poor farmer will have in store for you is the crops he grows and nothing more. Unless you really love staring at things like corn growing all your life. I think you should take some of that stuff back. I think I'd rather have someone whose job revolves around the plants I love, more than someone who can just afford all the fancy kinds. And you do realize that there are plenty of reasons to think about having your own food sources outside of just going to the store all the time. Remember that the world is changing rapidly now. The climates, the soil, the air. Some of the things you take for granted might someday not be on shelves anymore at your stores. So the best thing to do is grow them yourself, on land that you can control. Also, how do you think that all produce and such gets to those stores in the first place? It's because of farmers like my fiancé. So please, don't talk trash about us just because his profession is something other than working in an office building. I find the work he does very amazing, and do not want to hear ignorant comments like that about him from someone as stupid as you. What is that? You think that this world is going to just stop supplying my favorite stores with the food I like? I think you've overthought all that a little too much, and now you just sound like a doofus. If you're going to say things like that about us, then when the time comes that you want some of his produce, I'm not giving you any. Hey, come on now. Is your head full of hot air or something now? Maybe climate change has gotten to you already and turned your head into a greenhouse. Do you think this world will ever come to a time where there won't be produce on the shelves for me? When will that be? You are such an idiot, Olivia. Who taught you all that bull crap? I'm being serious right now. Then I guess I'll have to answer you seriously. If something does ever happen to cause food to become more rare, then you poor people would be the first ones to go. Having money like my husband does mean we can buy anything we need. So we're not worried about this future you keep thinking of. In this day and age, those with the most money are the ones that will always make it out on top. Money this, money that. All money is in the end is paper. I'm sure when the day comes that you really are in need of something that money cannot buy, you'll learn what I mean by that. Jesus. I guess at this point, no matter what I say to you, your thick skull will just bounce it off. You farmers are spending all your time under the hot sun, sweating your butts off. You must be pretty smelly out there, huh? I could never do something as disgusting as farming. No freaking way. You're not even working in the first place, Vicky. What are you saying? Doing chores and taking care of my husband is a job, right? And in my line of work, I'm able to crack open a bottle of wine during lunch. And while getting all my work done in the afternoon, I can have jazz music playing while relaxing in an air-conditioned room. But this is the kind of work only us housewives are entitled to, so I'm sure you never understand how hard it is. Vicky, all of that is a form of work, being a housewife and doing chores. But I'm doing things like that as well while working. And I'm sure right now things are simple and relaxed for you, only because there are no kids at home yet. What? Are you trying to make it seem as though your job is better than mine? Well, I'm sure you're just jealous that you don't get to live a life as a housewife like I do. Well, if you ever decided to get a proper businessman husband, then you could enjoy this kind of job as well. But I'm starting to think that'll never happen, because you thought it was a good idea to choose a farmer right off the bat like that. So I don't think you have it in you to find any better men than him. This isn't even about that, Vicky. I really enjoy being a farmer now, and I love my husband. I really want you to understand that I'm not jealous of the life you live. Yeah, sure. To be honest, though, I really don't care about you and your feelings. By the way, are you having a wedding then? I'm sure that a wedding held by a couple of farmers is going to be the most sad event in the world when it happens. I really think you have something confused about farmers. I would like it if you stopped thinking of all farmers as being these poor, moneyless people like you've come to say. I feel like the life I'll be having with my man really soon is going to be full of freedom, both financially and spiritually. Yeah. You can take all that bullcrap elsewhere, all right? I have to get going here soon to a tea party for the housewives, so I'll be going now. Like always, you only come around me to talk trash and then leave. If you're looking for ways to waste time, then maybe try getting a hobby, please.
Olivia, I just got a call from the police. Is everything all right? What happened to you?
About that, there appears to have been a fire near our house, and so a message was sent out by the police. And right now the fire department is trying to figure things out.
Thank goodness you're all right then. You weren't answering your phone there for a second, so I started to get a little worried.
I'm sorry, I was just busy working on some things, but I am totally fine right now.
Our wedding is coming up here soon. Why at this time would there be something like that going on?
Well, this is fine, right? This fire didn't take place on the day of the wedding, and as far as I'm aware, neither of us suffered anything from this.
I'm so glad you're being really positive about all of this. Well, anyway, there's something else that's been on my mind. Is your sister and her husband coming to our wedding? I know you said before that she wouldn't be setting any time aside for us. Does she hate the both of us that much?
I believe she only hates me, Austin, so you don't have to worry about anything. And when I last talked to her, she said she might come and show her face for 1 second. But remember, she's not my parents or anything, so it's not that important that you ever meet her. So go ahead and relax about her, and just focus on me and the wedding.
I see. You told me before that she doesn't think very much of us farmers, right? That sort of made me feel bad about a lot of things hearing something like that. Are you really sure you want to be married to a farmer?
Of course I am, Austin. I love you, and I love the fact that this is what you and your family do. It makes me so happy seeing you go out into the fields to work all the time. I never even saw myself marrying a farmer one day, but I'm so thankful I chose you.
I see. Well, that's nice to hear.
And as for our wedding, I'm sure it's going to be so amazing. I'm a little nervous about it, but even more excited to have it.
We're going to have a pretty huge wedding, right? I'm even going to have some of my customers coming to view it. But remember that even though they are my customers, you don't have to feel pressured in any way by them. I want you to stay relaxed and just enjoy our wedding.
All right. Thank you for letting me know that.
Also, from what I remember you telling me, your sister's husband works for a food company? I wonder if he'll know any of the people at our wedding.
Right. He might know a few of them. And from what else I've heard, he's a very hardworking man. That's kind of what made my sister turn into even more of a snobby person. I really wish her husband would do something about the way she acts.
Well, some people don't realize that others' behaviors are rude. Some even like the way their partners act, even if it's not popular with anyone else. It's just up to how everyone views that person, and whether it's really worth doing anything about it or not. If they are happy the way things are, then I guess they can stay that way. And the same goes for us, so we should just focus on ourselves more than others.
That's true. But if anytime soon my sister tries to do anything horrible to us, I'm not going to hold back, and I will make sure she never comes around us again. So don't worry about her, all right?
You've got some fighting spirit there. But I'm sure that's backed up with years and years of hate between the two of you.
Of course it is. Today, we've decided we're not coming after all. I know you only wanted us there to get some money from us, so we're canceling. We don't even have the money that you're looking for anyway, because it's not for beggars like you. Oh, is that so? Well, we weren't expecting anything from you and your husband anyway. Whether you still come here or not, later on I'll have to talk with you then. Huh? What? Are you upset now? You're making me start to laugh again. Let me tell you that no matter what you have to say, I'm not coming. And actually, I'm going to make sure to cut ties to both you and that moneyless, dirty old farmer husband of yours. Well then, you better not come today. It'll be a whole lot better for everyone else here by not having you come. I'm never coming, you low-life slug. I'm going to make sure you regret ever marrying such a thing as your husband. I'll talk with you later about things, and after that we never have to see each other again. Hey, I never heard about this. Hey, you pick up your phone right now. Right now my husband's company CEO is pissed at the both of us. Oh, what the heck is going on here? I never knew about any of this. Oh, is that so? He's mad at the both of you now? I had to tell him everything about you, so there is no other way but to hear from him now. What? Could you be outside the wedding right now throwing a fit? Did you rush all the way over here thinking you could get in? After hearing from him how angry he was, we had to come. Why the heck is my husband's CEO here right now at your wedding? Well, that's because he's a customer of my husband. However, it seems you never seemed to understand anything about my husband, did you? His family isn't filled with your average, everyday farmers like you might have thought. You're telling me that they will all grow produce to supply food manufacturers? Well, you can probably see that now, right? And there are plenty of other high-up people here right now at my wedding. You're lying. Farmers could never have that kind of money, right? Well, it's not all about the money when it comes to him and his family. I wouldn't call them rich or anything, but they do have a lot of assets like land and machinery. Also, what is this? Why are you guys having your wedding at such a huge venue? Did you have to sell your souls to afford a place as magnificent as this? Well, you could say that, I suppose. I mean, this wedding is costing us over $200,000 right now. Your wedding costs $200,000? Don't you think you just put in an extra zero on that or something? Nope. This wedding literally cost $200,000 for us. What do you mean then by his family not being rich? No matter how you look at it, a wedding like that is only meant for the rich. Well, to your average person, I suppose so. Why the heck is someone like you ended up getting married to a man with that much money? There's no way he should be with a loser like you. Wait, you were the one just talking trash about him and I. Yet now, after hearing that he really does have money, you're going to be even more mean to me? It's embarrassing to see someone as mindless as you spewing out some of the most stupid crap. So could you stop that? Shut it! Shut up, you freaking witch! If this was the reality of your situation, then you should have told me that before. I would have really liked to have my husband and I there in order to show him around to all the high-up people. Yet now him and I are having to be chewed out by his CEO. Well, you made that choice yourselves. And since you both didn't want to come, I had to talk about you myself. I mean, the CEO wanted to know why you guys didn't show up, even though your name was on both of your seats. So I explained the reason why as well. What did you end up telling him? You didn't seriously say something wrong about us, right? Something wrong about you guys? I only told him the facts, and that was all. So you can relax, all right? I said to him that my older sister seems to think that all farmers and those related to them are dirty and poor, and that you canceled 3 minutes before the start of the wedding for those reasons. And that's all I said to him as the explanation. What the hell are you doing, you freak? You just made me look like some kind of jerk to him. Now my husband's CEO is going to think of me in the worst way possible. You knew he was my husband's CEO, right? Yeah, I knew that. Although I only just learned about who he was recently. I heard about him from Mom. I had thought you and your husband would be here today to talk with him, but you both ended up canceling last minute. And you made yourself look like the jerk by treating my husband and I like trash, right? I'm not playing around anymore. Had I known about all these people coming to your wedding, I would have never canceled. I was never hiding any of this from you, though. And this was all written down in the pamphlets we handed out before the wedding. But you didn't come, so you never got a pamphlet. So in other words, this is what you get for being a real jerk. I'm saying you had just told me when I first started talking about this stuff, things would have been better for us. You could have said that the CEO of the company my husband works for is going to be there. Huh? Why would I say that? Why would I give a crap about you when you and I have never gotten along well? Did you want me telling you that just to make you and your husband look good at my wedding today? You thought I'd actually take time out of my life to tell you something as simple as that? All you had to do was tell me. And even before today, you and I had talked with one another, right? Oh, you mean when you texted me wanting to make fun of my soon-to-be husband and I then? You never wanted to listen to me, other than to hear me cry about you looking down on us. You were only really talking to me to burn some of your free time, right? I'm sure that was the case then, but you could have still told me about your husband then. Are you going to keep trying to make excuses up for yourself? Because my excuse for never telling you then is that I didn't have an idea of who all was coming to the wedding yet. Also, the one time you did text me to ask about the wedding in more detail, the moment I started to talk about what would be happening, you said you had to go because it was your time to drink, right? Well, I'm sure I did say something like that, but this wedding is a very huge deal for my husband, all right? If we could have made things go well for us today, we would have had a real chance at a major promotion. I'm sure that's all you wanted today, but you've done quite the opposite now by showing just how horrible of a person you are. If anything, this is going to make it even harder for him to get promoted now, right? Oh well. Oh well, then all of that will be your fault if he never gets promoted. Please, don't blame others for your lack of being a good person. My husband and I had invited you to our wedding and everything. The ones that were so happy to cancel last minute were you guys, right? So what else was there for us to do? Why is this happening to me? Well, I'm here now to find a CEO and go apologize to him. So open these doors for me right now. No, actually, I've had the security guard call the police for you. So just hang tight and wait for them to come and arrest you. Huh? What are you talking about? Why would you call the police? Now you've really gone and taken things too far. I get that I've been making a scene out here, but that's not against the law, is it? This isn't about what you're doing right now. This is about taking care of the two people that committed arson. What? Arson? What are you talking about? Ah, so you both never realized that. Well, I think you'd better confess about what you were doing the other day. Huh? What the heck are you going on about? What is this about? I'm not sure the reasoning behind it, but both you and your husband came looking for my house, right? Huh? How do you know that? We were both just trying to be quiet when we came over. Ah, that's it. You were living in that crappy little hut. After seeing a place like that, we both knew that you were going to marry a disgusting farmer. And that little hut that both you and your husband saw was just that, a hut. It wasn't a place where my husband and I stay, but rather an abandoned little shed that used to store some things in it. I'm sure that it was really starting to show its age and all, but... What? Wait. Huh? Just a shed? But that was a pretty big shed. That's just one of the sheds that are now abandoned throughout my husband's land. The house that we're both living in is about 10 times the size of that shed, and it's farther away from that shed than you might think. Are you being serious right now? So you're telling me that we never came close to your actual house then? That's right. So now, back to the problem here. You had both been standing near it, and then threw one of your cigarette butts on the ground near it without stomping the ember out. And then, soon after that, a fire started. But you knew about that, right? Are you kidding? I never knew that. Well, because of that cigarette butt, you burned one of our abandoned sheds down. Well, it wasn't totally abandoned, as there was still some useful things in it. Now you're going to have to pay for all that damage and the lost properties. And after adding all the damages up, you both owe $300,000. You're going to have to pay that off. And you both will, right? Huh? Wait, no way. Also, why do you guys think that it was my husband and I that did it? Well, because we have cameras all over the property. And after the police and fire department did their investigation, they found the remains of a burnt-up cigarette butt. But of course, the full investigation wasn't completed until last night. So ever since then, I've been thinking about having the police come while you were both here at my wedding. I'm not joking. I will kill you if you have the police take us away. You will? Well, then that's another thing I can tell the police then. I won't let them catch me then. Oh, now you plan on running. So you're going to try and run, and if they catch you, you'll kill me? But I didn't even do anything wrong. I never said for you to burn down that shed, and I never asked for you to come back to my wedding today after canceling. I've just been here enjoying my wedding. What? The police are here! Wait! Are they really going to take us away? Please, I'll apologize for everything. Do something about this. I'm your family, Olivia. Well, you both did burn down a building, and you also said you were cutting ties to me. Also, you happen to look down on both my husband and I, calling us poor and stupid. Are we really going to be the poor ones after you and your husband have to pay $300,000? I'm sure your husband's also going to lose his job, so this might just be it for the two of you. After that, the police came and arrested both my sister and her husband, which led to the start of the end of both their amazing lives. Vicky was really going to try and make a run for it, but she couldn't get as far as she was in her high heels, and her husband just sat there next to the front door waiting patiently for his demise. Vicky's husband ended up being fired after that, and Vicky never had a job to begin with, so in order to pay everything off, they had to sell their home. And with no place left to go to, and no jobs of their own anymore, my husband's parents decided to hire them to come work on one of their plantations. So because of my husband's parents' generosity, those two are now working every single day, making money to pay for their small little apartment, and doing so under the scorching hot sun. I hear they've both even gotten some really nice tans now because of it, so they should see that as a win, never needing to go to a tanning salon ever again. Anyway, I'm sure they never saw themselves ending up in the very place they made fun of so much, but now that they're working on a farm, it might just help them to realize both the importance of farming and that you can make lots of money off it. As for my husband and I, after the wedding, we took a honeymoon out to the Florida Keys to try and relax a bit after what had happened. And when we go back home, we've planned to take that old burnt down shed and throw up some greenhouses there for me to start growing lots more tropical plants that I've always dreamed of having. Using the money from Vicky and her husband, of course. How old are you, Lori? I happen to be Arnie's current girlfriend, and I go by the name Willa, so it's very nice to meet you. And to be open with you, I'll let you know how old I am. I happen to be a ripe 22 years old. So one more time now, can you please tell me how old you are? I'm sorry, but I'm not quite sure what's going on here. You are Arnie's girlfriend, Willa? How did you end up finding my phone number? I went ahead and found it in Arnie's phone contacts and copied it. And right now, both Arnie and I are out having a really good time tonight. He just ended up finishing the fun times he was having with me and is now sleeping peacefully in the hotel bed. His face when he's sleeping is so cute that I just want to go up and kiss him over and over again. So anyway, I went ahead and took a look at his phone, copied your phone number into my contacts, and now I'm texting with you. So you haven't even told Arnie about how you've gone through his phone or anything yet? I'm sure that if he found out about you doing something like that, he'd be very upset, right? I'll be fine. The both of us trust one another so much that we told one another our phone's passwords. So that means the both of us can look at one another's smartphones whenever we please, right? And by now, the two of us are going to get married. So what's wrong with me having a look through his phone? We have to be open with each other now. So no time like the present to start looking around and seeing if he's had anything hidden from me. Is that so? I'm glad you are so open about the relationship the two of you have. Thanks. So, why are you texting me right now? I had asked how old you are. Did you not just see that message? Just by the looks of the photo he has saved on here of you as the profile picture, you seem to be pretty up there in age. Perhaps you're almost in your late 30s by now? Huh? So you're telling me that your reason for texting me out of the blue? Don't you see that sort of reasoning is a bit rude as well? Just because of my photo, you're going to judge the age I am? Is Arnie really going to be getting married to someone of your likes? Unbelievable. I thought he could do a lot better. I'm sure it's so painful being that jealous of me, right? But I'd be careful, because if you get that upset in your age, you might end up bursting some blood vessels. You are far too old to be working yourself up that much, so calm down, please. Although, I'm sure you can't calm down right now considering you have to talk to me. Well, I'll make all of this quick for you, as long as you give me an answer to the question I had. I am a bit younger than you assumed, at the age of 29. And, as of right now, I am single, but I'm working a job I really love, and I'm able to do all the time with freedom. So please, do not feel as though you have any right to look down on me because of my age, when I'm living a life that makes me happy. Wow, you really are like some old aunt or something, huh? I guess the moment you have to bring up your age and that you're single to anyone, you go right to saying you at least have a job that makes you happy, so it's okay? Well, I know those excuses all too well. I really want to focus on my job. I am too busy with work right now for a man. I have so much going on with my career right now that there is no time in my life for a man. I'm so happy to see another middle-aged woman resorting to the classic excuses of having work instead of a man at your age. I answered your question now, so please, leave me alone, as I don't have the time right now to let you get on my nerves. If you have anything else you want to talk about in the future, go through your boyfriend instead. Now, never text me again, please. Arnie, are you going out with someone named Willa right now? I know this question's a bit sudden and all, but I just need to know.
Huh? Yeah? But why do you, of all people, know about her already?
I knew you had no clue about this. I'm sure what I'm going to be telling you next then will come as a big surprise. Yesterday, I got a few texts from her out of nowhere. She seemed really in the mood to start a fight or something with me. Just by how rude she was in getting answers from me, and about how much she talked about hers and your relationship. Are you and her all right now? Has she been up to anything that sort of rubs you the wrong way?
What? You got some text from Willa yesterday? At what time? How was she even able to learn about your phone number in the first place? I've never even talked with her about you before, nor have I ever given her your contact info.
That's something that I'd really like to ask about myself. Well, I had heard her explanation yesterday, though. She told me that after you guys had fooled around last night, you fell asleep at the hotel. And she was looking at your sleeping face and bragging about it. She was looking through your phone and came across my number. She said she then copied it to her phone and started to text me.
Huh? She was talking to you about something as personal as that? I'm sorry, but she should know better than to talk about our private activities. I feel embarrassed now. You're my sister of all people.
I'm sure she doesn't know that yet. By the way, she was talking to me. She made it seem like I was in love with you or something and jealous of the things you both have together. And honestly, I'm not as concerned about any of that private stuff. I'm old enough now to understand everyone does things like that with their partner. Now tell me, did you really end up giving her the password to your phone?
Yeah, I did. I'm not doing anything wrong, so I thought there'd be nothing on my phone for her to find. She had asked me to tell her my password before, so I told her. And, well, I don't mind her having my password inside her head, But using it to go into my phone and steal your phone number? That just doesn't sit right with me.
And she didn't even text me from your phone. Rather, she used her own phone to message me last night. And I feel as though she has my information saved in her phone now. I don't like that at all, Arnie. It feels like this won't be the last time she'll text me about things like that.
I don't feel alright about any of this either. But I'm sure she was just playing around at the time, because she's not that bad of a person. I'm sure she had a reason for it, right? Maybe she just wanted to make sure you really were you, and that she had your phone number correct in her phone?
No. I don't really think what she was saying last night was okay, though. Do you? Last night, she really did not sit right with me about the things she was saying. She started calling me a middle-aged woman and things like that when I'm only just about to turn 30. And right from the moment she started to text me, it felt like she wanted to start something.
Is that how it really felt? I'm sorry, Lori. Let me tell you something a little interesting about her. Willa happens to have me on a leash at all times, and wants to make sure that I'm always hers. A lot of people will call her cute and innocent, but that's just a mask she puts on covering up the real Willa. I'm not saying that she's a bad person for being the way she is, but I just wanted to let you know she's very protective of me.
I guess I've never really been around anyone like that before. Well, even if she was trying to be protective or whatever, her texting me like that at night was a little bit, well, calling me by my name, only to turn around and start talking down to me because of my age. That's not a good first impression towards her boyfriend's sister, right?
I'm sure she had just started off on the wrong foot is all. She went out searching for your number after all, right? So I'm sure the next time she comes to talk to you, she'll feel more controlled and will hopefully not start making fun of your age again. If you don't mind, I'll watch to make sure that she's not getting too out of hand, alright?
Really? I've always known you as being very friendly towards everyone you meet. But I feel like with her, you're being too nice and are letting her do as she wants. That worries me a little. Are you really okay with her being a very protective woman who has you on this so-called leash?
I wonder. But I don't think you have to be all that worried about her and I. I'll go and let her know about what you've said, and make sure that from here on out, she is a bit more kind towards you. There might also be another reason behind her acting like that, though. She might have just been a little anxious because it was her first time talking to you, and right after she had been looking through my phone.
I'm sure thinking of it that way is alright. But you telling her to be a bit more kind towards me, and you letting her get away with stuff like that are two different things. So, just make sure you warn her properly, so that she doesn't feel as though she can act that same way towards me again. Just because she's protective of you, doesn't mean she gets a pass to be as rude as she wants towards me.
Alright, I understand. I'm sure being called middle-aged like that must have really upset you then, right?
You know dang well that I'm upset over that. I already know that I'm going into my 30s now. And I have plans for what I'll do as I get older, so there is no need for her to start making fun of me when I'm only 29 and still have my whole life ahead of me. She told me I look like I'm in my mid-30s after looking at my profile picture, Arnie.
Ah, that's a little bit too far there. I'm sorry. I'll make sure to warn her about acting like that. But let's be honest, Lori. Your profile picture right now looks nothing like you. So why not send me a new photo of you so that I can update it?
I don't want to hear that from you now, too.
I didn't mean it like that. Lori? By the way, are you going to be coming to my wedding? I thought it would be nice to send you an invitation in the mail. But before doing that, I thought I'd just ask.
Well, actually, I think I can make things work with my schedule. I'm working on adjusting my schedule as we speak, actually.
What? Seriously? So you'll really be able to make it?
Well, you should have already known that I want to be there, right? I get that there was that one scuffle between Willa and I, but this is still the wedding for my little brother.
So you're going to be alright with work and everything? Recently, you've been having to go on a lot of business trips and have been tied up in so many projects, so I'm sure this is difficult for you, right? You also happen to be overseas quite a lot, so it's been a while since we last met. So that must mean that this time you're planning on coming back to Ohio for my wedding?
Well, I'm still really tied down with work, but I was already planning on coming back to Ohio for some other things, so I'll fit your wedding in during that time as well. And I'm sure to you, my job is really busy looking, but I've worked hard to get where I'm at now in the company. I've made a pretty good image for myself here, so I can do things my own way at times.
Really? You're just saying that about yourself? Well, you've always been a really hardworking person, so I think you have the right to say you're viewed well by your company and can swing some things with them. You've been working the job you always wanted to this whole time, and look good doing it. So it's no wonder you've got some power there now.
Right? So that's why I'm lining things up to be back in Ohio during the time of your wedding.
Alright. Well then, I'm looking forward to seeing you after so long. I'll see you then.
See you then, Arnie. I'm looking forward to your wedding. What do you think you're doing? Coming at me like that, wanting to punch me, and then actually hitting me? What the hell do you have against me, of all people, Willa? Why the hell would the old woman that threw away my man be coming to his wedding? I punched you in the face because I am not going to let one of his ex-girlfriends come storming in here like that. Now get your sad butt out of here. I'm not letting you take him back. Huh? Who is this ex-girlfriend you're talking about? You thought I was going to take him from you? Willa, I think you have the complete wrong idea of me. Huh? The relationship I have with Arnie? He's my brother. My little brother. What? Huh? Are you kidding me? This is just some stupid excuse now, right? If that's what you think, then take a look at the guest list. And I said that I was coming to this wedding last minute, so my name should be written on there at the bottom of the list. Lori, older sister. Huh? Oh, that's right. So you must be his older sister. Wow. That was just a joke, all right? You should know that all of this was a joke from the start, right? What about all of that was a joke? Well, you should know that all of that was a joke. I'm sorry about hitting you like that out of nowhere, though. That was my first time meeting you in person, so I was a little shocked. And well, I just happen to be a very outgoing person, and my gesture just managed to hit you in the face accidentally. I can totally see how flustered you are right now over what you just did to me by using such a lame excuse as that. Well, I'm sorry, but I don't think any excuse is going to work for you now because you punched me in front of everyone. Causing such a mess at your own wedding really just shows how toxic you are. Well, I'm not that strong of a girl anyway, so I'm sure it didn't hurt, right? I really just made a small mistake with my hands was all. So if you please not make such a huge deal out of this, that would help me a lot. Today is the day of my very important wedding, right? I'm over this. My brother has even been a bit worried about things after that first instance. And after seeing this happen to me, he's completely upset with you. I don't think you guys are going to be having a wedding now after that stupid move by you. What? No, what happened was just an accident, right? Because I really didn't believe that you'd be coming today. I just assumed you were his ex-girlfriend or something, so... So, you're telling me that if I really was his ex-girlfriend, you would have been punching me on purpose without talking things over first? No way. I get that Arnie is a really kind and open-hearted man, but when it comes to things like violence, he really, really hates it. But Arnie never even called you his older sister or anything. He called you by your name. Has he called to you as his big sister, then things would have been different. I had no clue who you really were when you walked in. We have always called one another by our names, as most normal siblings do to one another. We also happen to be really close to one another, so that's why we are always hugging and everything. I can see why you might see me as more than just a sister at times, but that is in no way an excuse to come up and punch me in the face. I'm so sorry about what happened. Where are you at right now, Lori? Do you think you can come back out here now? Right now, the wedding has just been put on hold, and it's not looking like it'll start again without you here. You say it's put on hold, but to me, I'd call that canceled. There's no way it is. I already went all over town bragging about how I'd become a wife at such a young age. If after doing all that, my wedding is canceled? Not good. Are you kidding me? You just punched the groom's sister in the face, and you think that's not worth canceling the wedding over? Wait, that's not what I meant by that. But you have to see that canceling a wedding for that is taking things way too far. And I'm sure if you just come back out here, things would all settle down, right? I'm not messing around right now. Huh? I had tried to look at you open-mindedly because you are the woman that Arnie's been in love with. But after what you just done to me, I am no longer going to let my little brother marry a freak like you. Right now, I have all my family with me, and they are all pissed after looking at what you've been saying to me. And your parents are here right now on their hands and knees apologizing to us. That's how serious things have become? Hey, where are all of you at right now? We are all in a room right now gathered around while I have ice put on my face to get the swelling to go down. And Arnie has been standing next to me this whole time, his face ghostly white, as he keeps saying sorry to me. I'm going to come and apologize now as well. I don't want to see your freaking face ever again, you jerk. I don't need any form of an apology from you, so just get lost, you freak. I'm going to be bringing something like this to the police, so you better have your wallet ready to pay up. You're going to the police? Wait, now you're really taking things too far. That was just a small family fight, right? Family? I was just punched in the face by a woman I've never met before in person, and you want to call it a small family fight? I was bleeding from my nose for a while there, and my clothing is all covered in blood. And everyone saw that it happened in this building still, so you're not getting away with any of what you've done. I'm so sorry, Lori. I think that I really went a bit overboard there, and I'm sorry for that. So do you think we can please stop it with all this talk about police and getting money from me and bring things back to normal? And one other thing, your father happens to be one of my customers. Because of what's happened here today, I think the contract we've had between one another is going to end. I'm sure when that happens, you won't look so good anymore to your own family. But this all comes down to having been your fault, so you're going to learn not to act like a total jerk ever again. Huh? Wait a second. Don't you feel that something like that has nothing to do with us? What are you even talking about, Lori? Have you known about my father before knowing me? Yes, that's right. When he came in here to apologize for you after you hit me in the face, I realized who he was. He happens to be the CEO of a small company that works closely to the company I'm a part of. But after today, I don't want anything to do with any of your family. So after today, I'm going to have the contract him and my company have had together torn up and thrown away. Wait a second, please. That really has nothing to do with what I did to you today. Him and his company have nothing to do with the rude things I did to you, all right? So please, don't punish him for it. But his company does have a lot to do with this. If I continue to let him work with me, then he's never going to realize just how much of a failure he was as a parent for raising such a rude freak like you. I'm going to have your parents be just as responsible as you are for punching me in the face. Why would you ever do that, though? I think you and your family should prepare for what's going to be coming next. I'm not sure if all your actions had to do with you having a leash on my brother or because you are overprotective of him. But someone who thinks they can resort to violence like that should be punished for it. But in my case, I still haven't really experienced the real world yet, so I'm not totally familiar with all the rules in society yet. I'm going to try a lot harder now to act like an adult, so would you please just let me go? Just hearing you say something as ridiculous as that has made my blood boil. You thought that I let you off the hook for an excuse like that? And you think that I let your father get away with raising someone as sloppily as he has for that? Well, I guess you're right. You are still young, and you haven't fully learned all the rules in the real world yet. So I'm going to help you out right now. I had planned on becoming a housewife right after getting married to Arnie, but now I'm thinking I'll get myself a part-time job and come to learn what this world is all about. Well, you can go do whatever you want, but just know that Arnie isn't going to marry you anymore. So you're not going to ever become a housewife at this rate. Are you being serious? But I still haven't come around to finding any work just yet. I have been thinking that my whole life would be about being his housewife. I can get a part-time job for just a little bit to learn about the world and then become his housewife, right? I don't care about what you want, Willa. By the way, while we've been chatting, Arnie's been looking into your past a bit more. Have you been messing with one of his actual ex-girlfriends? What? No. I was just trying to scare them a little bit so they'd stay away. Actually, I went ahead and gathered all of the numbers of the women he's been talking to lately. He knows about how you found one of them and hit them as well? And about how with another one of his ex-girlfriends, you tripped her, spraining her ankle? I don't think that any of this is even remotely okay. Do you? Well, I was just making sure none of those crazy women would ever try laying their hands on him ever again. Then, can you tell me why you happen to have a lot of your own men lined up for you? What? Why do you know about that? Well, I had just assumed you were that type of girl. And so, after looking around, I found out that you used to work as a host, and you got paid pretty well doing that sort of work. And because of that job, you have quite a few men attached to you still. I know that now you're not working as a host anymore. But what's going on there? No, that's, you could say that those guys are all just, I don't have any attachments to them anymore. So, this is why you're being such a witch then. Because you've been doing some not so good things behind Arnie's back, you're paranoid he might be doing the same? And to stop all that, you've been taking out his ex-girlfriends? Well, the reasoning doesn't really matter to me now, as you're not going to be with Arnie any longer. Please, I will change after all that's happened here. Can you please let me go talk to Arnie about all of this? Arnie doesn't want to talk to you anymore. He's learned all about the real you today, and nobody in my family wants you around anymore. Please, learn after today that the way you are now is not going to cut it in the real world. You are too toxic of a woman for any man to want to love at this point. So your best bet is to find a job you really like and start working and learning from that. Now, have fun in the hell that's awaiting you after today. After that, the marriage between Arnie and Willa ended up falling through, and she tried to run to him crying for his forgiveness, but it was already too late. After a while, all of Willa's family had cut ties to Willa, and because of that, Lori decided it wouldn't be necessary to end the contract with Willa's father. But even with the contract still standing, life for Willa hasn't been all too great back at her parents' house, while she's living the life of a shut-in, locked up in her room. Lori also made sure to bring up the assault with the police, so even if Willa tries to find a job or anything, it's going to be very hard for a company to want to hire her. Especially since they're going to follow up with her about what happened, and might even need to take her into custody, depending on what my lawyer will want done with her. I was thinking just a small settlement from her would suffice for the damage she did by hitting me, but we'll just have to wait and see. This may not be the life Willa was bragging about to everyone, but this is the life that she needs to live in order to learn. So I'm hoping in time, this all teaches her one of the most important lessons in her life, and she never acts like a complete idiot again.
Hey, are you really going to leave me like this now? You shouldn't be so upset about everything that happened between you and I this time. Let's just get back together and make up already. I'm telling you right now that you're aware of everything about me, it'll be a lot easier for you to accept me. How about it? Let's say we never wanted to break up and want to continue moving towards getting married.
I have no reason to get back together with someone like you. You don't even have a job, yet all you do all day is go out to gamble whatever money I give you away with that awful addiction of yours. I always wondered when things would start to come from that money, but you never once gave me anything in return after all these years.
Now, stop calling it an addiction, alright? It's not nice to me. It's just a hobby that I have. And it happens to cost a bit more money than most other hobbies do. You've always loved me for being good with my money when I go out to have some fun anyway, right? So, come on, take another look at what you've loved about me and try not to forget it.
You told me you were the CEO of some company and that you wanted to borrow some money from me to start yet another business. However, you took all that money I gave you and started to bet it on racing horses, you jerk. You think I loved you for that? What I thought I loved you for and what you think I loved you for are on total opposite ends of the spectrum.
I was planning on winning a lot of money from those horses and giving you back the amount you lent me, alright? I'm telling you that this next race, I will not lose out on. I know the horses I'll be betting on. And I know that there's no way they are going to lose.
I am horrified by the fact that I even thought for a second that I'd want to marry someone like you. I'm glad that right before we handed in our marriage papers to the courthouse, I found out what kind of scum you really are.
And what you found out is that I'm a really nice guy. You know that already, right, Lilia? I just happened to make a mistake with that last amount of money. It's a tough life living in this world. So come on now. How about you just start acting like you're my mom or something, and I'm your little boy that you'll love to raise for the rest of time. Like a sugar mama of sorts. I have tons of friends that have relationships like that, and when you look at marriage that way, it makes it a whole lot easier for you to hand me more money.
Shut the hell up, Eric. I don't want to be married to someone that wants me to act like I'm their mother. That is just disgusting. I know there are people with those kinds of kinks, but they never make it about money like you do, sicko. Don't you ever talk to me again, all right? I do not want to be a part of your addiction anymore, and I most definitely don't plan to be your ATM for the rest of my life.
Jesus. I was really hoping to finally have someone liable for my actions when I go out to play. How am I supposed to continue to get any money now to gamble some more?
You are literally the most disgusting man I have ever had the unfortunate chance of going out with. You thought you could really get away with using me as a way to pay for all your gambling and even rope me into it by getting married? You were literally going to commit marriage fraud at that point. Are you not embarrassed by how you're living your life?
I threw away that fear of being embarrassed a long time ago. As humans, we sometimes need to do some of the most scary or embarrassing things in life in order to get to where we want to be. So no, I'm not embarrassed by anything I've done so far. And actually, I really hope you'll understand me so that I can get back to my horse races.
I cannot believe this. I'm done here. You are really a sly piece of crap, and you really know how to work your way into someone's wallet. You could probably find yourself a really good job with those skills if you actually put yourself out there.
I don't want to work though. I hate it. The last job I had a long time ago was so boring. And I'd much rather just get money from someone and use it to win some more.
You really have no merits to yourself, do you, Eric? Well, anyway, this is it between us. I really hope that I never have to run into you ever again.
What? I'm going to be lonely though. Lilia?
Hey, how are you feeling right now? Huh? What are you talking about? Who even is this? You can tell me how bad it must feel for you. So come on now, don't be shy with me. How are you really feeling deep down? I'm sure this has all really broken your heart severely, right? You probably just want to curl up and die now, right? I'm being serious when I ask what the hell you're going on about right now. I have no clue at the moment. Are you sure you don't have the wrong number right now? I have the correct number, Lila. I mean, you are Lila Shute, right? You're the Lila Shute that was tossed aside by Eric all because you weren't enough for him, right? Ah, so that's what all ended up happening then. I really needed to just get a new number after that. Oh my, you're going to try and act all cool about it? I feel so sorry for you, really. I bet you were really thinking you had it all when you started to go out with a man like him. Well, I'm sorry to say, but that successful man has gone after a far more beautiful and amazing woman. Me. Are you actually going out with Eric right now? You think I'm only going out with him? It's not like that between us anymore. Next month, he and I will be getting married. And that means he and I will be bound by our love until the end of time. What? Are you serious? Are you really okay with doing something like that to yourself? What do you mean by that? What would I not be okay with regarding Eric? Eric is deeply in love with me and does everything to make sure I'm aware of that. He already has one of the most amazing companies in the world under his belt, and he wants to make me his beautiful princess. I think we make for the perfect couple. We are destined to be married, actually. Don't you think? I'm sorry, but is this you, Claire? Huh? How did you know? I can see what's really going on here now. Well, Claire, I'm not really sure you should be calling yourself his princess quite yet. Especially when you both aren't officially married yet, right? I'm sorry that you were thrown away by him on such a short notice. I really am. But just because you happened to not be good enough to become his princess doesn't mean that someone far superior than you can't be. I can understand your jealousy for me. You've been that way ever since we were both going to the same school together, right? I don't ever remember being jealous of you in any way. Well, how about we just go with that for now then? So, what do you want with me right now then, Claire? As I asked at the beginning, I want to know how horrible you're feeling right now. I'm sure your heart is in shambles right now after all that's happened to you, right? I was able to get your fiancé from you without even having to put up a fight. Claire, you really happen to have one of the worst personalities. Also, I was never even engaged to Eric in the first place. I get that this is all very hard for you right now, but can you quit it with those shallow lies? You were looking forward to getting married to Eric, right? Well, I'm sorry that my beauty was all that was needed for me to steal him right out of your hands. I can see that there are a lot of things you don't understand well enough right now, but so be it. I have a lot of things going on in my life right now, so see ya. Oh, I suppose that's right. You were only just kicked out of the house by Eric, so you really must be busy trying to find a new place to live. What the hell has Eric been telling you about what happened with him and I? Well, if you ever find that things are too tough for yourself to handle, you can always reach out to me. There is always the chance that I'll be willing to hand you over whatever change there is in my pockets. That's right. Do you think that you'll be able to make it to Eric's in my wedding? Huh? Why would I have any reason to go see that? You don't have to worry about giving us any presents for our wedding or anything. I'll be kind and let an ugly and partnerless woman like you into my wedding for free. I mean, this wedding is going to cost us over $100,000 to have, so it's a once-in-a-lifetime chance to come see such a wedding, right? Huh? $100,000 for that wedding? Are you being serious right now? Well, of course I'm being serious about that. After all, this is going to be the wedding of one of the world's most popular CEOs, right? There will be very respectable people from all over the world coming to see it, so Eric has to make sure to put in enough money to make it spectacular. For some reason, I've become a bit worried for you, Claire, which is a very rare thing coming from me. The only person you should be worried about is yourself, Lila. You're going to have to live the rest of your life all by yourself, I'm sure. Yeah, sure. That's totally right. Well, nothing about you and Eric has anything to do with me, so can you point all that pride you have for yourself somewhere else? I wish you the best of luck, you loser.
Hey, Lilia. It's been a while, hasn't it? It's me, Eric.
What do you want from me now? I was sure that I asked you to promise me to never talk to me again, right?
Hey, I'm not here to talk to you about anything I need from you at the moment. I'm just here to talk with you about how Claire invited you to the wedding of ours next month. I'd like for the two of us to talk about that for just a minute or two.
Well, answer me this first, Eric. Why did you tell Claire that you threw me away and started to go out with her as though we hadn't been apart for over a year now? Right now, she thinks that she was able to steal you from me or something like that.
Well, she's just that type of girl. She really likes the idea of taking something or someone from someone else, so that she can feel good about herself is all. And when she learned that the woman I was with was you, Lilia, the person who she always competed against back in school, well, I just told her that I dumped you when I saw the beauty of her, and that got her so fired up to be around me, and started making jokes about you.
And? What is your plan with getting that close to Claire and making her think that you both will be getting married now?
There is no goal in all this for me. It was her that started to get close to me in the first place a while back. and I started to have feelings for her. At that point, you and I had already broken up and such, but to her, she was able to steal me from you. All I did was make it look as though I was stolen from you, all to make sure she really wanted to keep me.
Then what's this about you giving her a $100,000 wedding?
And about that, what am I going to do?
What are you going to do? That wedding is coming up here really soon, right? Right now, you have Claire all excited that that wedding is going to happen, so what are you seriously going to do?
I have no idea. If anything, this wedding was all her idea anyway. Saying things about how this wedding will be $100,000 and take place in a castle, and that people from all over the world would be coming to it to watch us be married. I was just going along with everything she was mentioning, and that's how all of this came to be. She seems to be the one going through with all of the preparations for the wedding on her own anyway.
So this is what happens when the world's biggest idiot and the world's scummiest man get together.
Anyway, instead of talking about all that, what about we talk about you getting back together with me? I've realized you really are the only woman on this planet for me. And compared to Claire, you have a lot more money that can use freely, right? I mean, Claire does make quite a bit of money, but she goes and spends it all right away. And that's been pissing me off a lot.
You have no right getting pissed off with her over that.
Do not say things like that about me. Now, please, Lilia, I was able to win $6,000 half a year ago gambling on the horses, okay? That's a lot of money, right?
And what ended up happening to that measly $6,000 you won?
I spent it all going out to play some more. But winning $6,000 from betting on horse racing is pretty amazing, right?
Is that the only appeal you have, man? Eric, I'm already married to someone now, so you can just quit it with all that.
Wait, is that true? I see. Well then, I'll just have to make things work with Claire then.
You really are such a terrible person. I mean, Claire is also just the most unbearable person, but I can tell you right now that things between you both will not end well.
Well, I'll be seeing you again at our wedding. See you then.
I really have zero reason to be going to that wedding. Good morning, Lila. You know what day it is today, right? Ah, that's right. I need to take out my recyclables today. That was a close one. And I was going to totally forget about that if it wasn't for you reminding me, so thank you. Huh? The only trash that needs to be taken out is you, Lila. Well, listen here. Today is the day that Eric and I got wed at our super expensive and absolutely gorgeous wedding. And of course you'll be coming, right? I thought I told you before that there is no reason for me to go. And to be straight up, I don't even know if that wedding is going to go as well as you think for yourselves. Huh? What are you even talking about right now? We all know that this wedding is going to go perfectly for all of us. I really wonder about that, Claire. Have you been in such a bad mood because of all this that you've been praying for a tornado to come and ruin everything for us? Well, I'm sorry, but it's nothing but clear skies today, so this wedding is going to go smoother than a baby's butt. That man is so invested in my beauty that he'd do anything to make sure I have the best day of my life today. That CEO has already decided I'm the one who'll become his princess, so just give it up, okay? You have no clue what's going on, do you? This all really has nothing to do with me, so I was just going to let you fall into his trap. But it might be even more funny to tell you right now, so here we go. Eric is completely unemployed right now. And not only that, but he is in a very large amount of debt with all kinds of banks and loan sharks. What? You're going to have to try for a better lie than that if you want me to believe you. Could this be that you're already just gone off the deep end and that's the kind of reality you want to believe in? I'm not making any of this up because Eric really is jobless at the moment and always has been. Well, years and years ago, he really was the owner of a company. But he didn't have all his finances straight and the company went bankrupt. Soon after that, he started to develop a serious gambling addiction. And I know that all of what you're saying to me is bullcrap. If he really didn't have a job as a CEO right now, then how would he have been able to afford this $100,000 wedding for me? That's a great question you have there. I mean, he shouldn't have any reason for having that $100,000 wedding, right? I'm thinking that he has no plans to pay for the wedding and is going to leave you to deal with all the costs. I bet you that right now he only has around $10 on him at most. You really have gone crazy. The both of us are already here at the wedding getting ourselves prepared. I bet if I walked over to the groom's dressing room right now, he'd be in there suiting up. Do you want me to go and check on him for you? Actually, yes, I'd love it if you did that for me. What? He's not here. Why not? I told you why, right? I think he knows what'll happen there and wanted to run away as soon as the coast was clear. And when it comes to his family and friends, they've all cut ties to him long ago. So if you have a look around, you'll notice not a single person on his side of the family or any of his friends have come, right? Wait a sec. What? Are you being serious about all that? I've been telling the truth this whole time regarding him. And that's why a year ago or so, when I learned about the true person he is, I left him and got as far away as I could. Huh? 1 year ago, but everything you heard from Eric about the relationship he had with me was all a lie to get you to come closer to him. But before you continue to worry about the truth surrounding that, what are you going to do now? Are you going to be able to pay for that wedding? I have no way to pay for all of this. Seriously, hold on for 1 second. I'm starting to panic a lot right now. I can't even think straight anymore. The wedding is supposed to be starting really soon here as well. You're going to have to cancel that wedding as quickly as possible. I'm sure you're already aware of this by now, but all those respectable people from around the world that you thought would come don't exist. The only people coming to your wedding today are the people you invited, and that's it. What is all this? This is actual hell. I had planned on us all going out to party after this wedding and have all that reserved for everyone. Yikes, you really are in a tough spot now then. What are you laughing about? If you had just told me sooner about the kind of person Eric is and what happened between you two, this kind of thing wouldn't be happening now. You think I wanted to help you avoid your fate? I mean, gosh, you were calling me all sorts of terrible things before after you thought you'd stolen Eric from my hands. You deserve every bit of this hell you're going to experience. Shut the hell up! This is all your fault, you know. Not only do you look like an ugly old woman, but your heart and soul are exactly the same thing. Well, my soul's ugliness is nothing compared to yours. From what I've heard, I wasn't the only person you went to bragging about how you would be getting married to a CEO of some huge company. Lots of other classmates in school say you've been doing the exact same things to them, calling them names and making yourself look better than them. You even went on about how you'd be having this $100,000 wedding with Eric, and that you wanted them to come along and witness it. But now that they're all there to see that wedding, they'll get to learn about how your supposed groom was a liar that has run away, leaving you with only one option, and that's canceling the wedding. And you'll have to start paying off a very large cancellation fee for the whole event. It really must suck to be you right now, Claire. Shut the actual hell up! Do not make fun of me like a little schoolgirl, you immature freak! I'm only treating you this way because you started all of it. Consider us even now, okay? Now, good luck cleaning up all that mess. Wait, Lila! Hey, Eric, way to go. You really cannot help yourself from going out and ruining everything for everyone, can you? Do you plan to just keep running from Claire now?
You can say all you want about me, but I had no other choice. I've been avoiding her for a while now, trying to show her how much I don't want her anymore. What does she want to talk to me about? She already knows everything there is to know about me, so what's the point in talking to me?
You could at least apologize to her for what you've got her wrapped up in. She's a total witch of a woman for how she treats everyone around her, but don't you feel a little bad for her?
Well, it was her that made this whole deal about wanting a $100,000 wedding, and went ahead and started planning it without my permission. And I also heard about her after party that she planned out. She wanted to take everyone out on a night cruise on the bay. She never once told me she planned on doing that. This is what she deserves for being so selfish. You think that yourself, right?
But she's not the only one that deserves that fate, though. You were the one that lied to her about literally everything, getting her hopes up to the highest degree. I honestly don't give a single crap about what's happening here, but you should at the very least be somewhat of an adult about it.
I've already learned a bunch from this. Also, you hate her guts. So you should not be getting on me about what's happened to her. If anything, you should be happy for all of this. Hey, now that I've gotten rid of that loser, you want to get back together with me? Huh?
I really want you to quit it with all that crap, Eric.
What?
I'm sure you think you can just keep living your life as the lowest of scum by getting people wrapped into your lies while you gamble any money they give you away. But you are seriously going to rot in hell for ruining so many people's lives and wasting all their time.
I told you to stop being so rude when talking about me. You really don't have to dig into me that much.
If you want to keep digging that hole of yours to where you can't get out of it, that's totally fine. But getting other people stuck in your hole just so that you can climb on top of them and get out is not good. There is going to be a point when you mess with the wrong person and they really get you back for this crap. What will you do then?
Seriously? What does that mean?
There are people in this world far stronger than me, and they will not let you get away with your crap. If I really wanted to, I could make a mess out of you for all the horrible things you've done to me. Understand?
Hey, I do feel bad for what happened between you and I back then.
If you really do feel bad, then stop doing the same old crap to other people and become a better person. How much longer are you going to be this parasitic disgrace that goes out to feed off others so you can gamble more?
Really, Lilia? Stop trying to act like my mom about this.
I thought you wanted me to be like a mom to you. I mean, you keep asking for me to get back together with you, right? Well, this is me getting back at you. You need to just shut the hell up and turn that crummy life of yours around, or so help me.
Why? Why are you trying so hard to get me to change? I was the one that stabbed you in the back, right? Yet you're still trying.
That's because I'm an amazingly kind person. That's all. Don't get your hopes up, though, because I do not think anything of you besides that you're a menace to society.
Ugh, what the heck. Alright. I guess I'll turn myself around and head back over to the wedding. I'm not sure what help any of this will do, but I can at least apologize to Claire for what I've done.
Good. Now go ahead and do that. My God. Even after everything he did to you, you still went ahead and married Eric in the end? No matter what you try and think, that has to suck for you, right? He doesn't have a job and is addicted to gambling. And when it comes to all the money he's borrowed, it's in the hundreds of thousands by now. He lied to you about himself and others he's been with, and you're totally okay with all that to the point you'd still marry him? I chose to marry him, so you don't have to comment about it. I know that everything he said to me was a lie, but he told me he wanted to start things from square one and fix his ways. So I have decided that I'll be the one there to help him. I always knew that you were one of the worst people around, but I guess there is a heart somewhere deep inside you. I'm really sorry about a lot of the things I said before. My eyes have been open to all that now. Ever since we were in school together, I've had something against you. You always were liked by everyone in the class and did so well with all your schoolwork. I was one of the worst students in our grade and became super jealous of the person you were. So that's why this time, with the help of Eric becoming my husband, I'd finally be able to show you. It's fine, Claire. I knew there was something up with you that made you so aggressive towards me. But the reason I still chose to be with Eric is that for some reason I felt a bit of warmth still coming from him when he came and apologized to me. He wasn't wanting to marry me only for himself. I get it, Claire. I can see that you still care for him by the fact that even after everything he did to you, you still married him. So what are you going to do now?
Well, about that, I think to start things off, the two of us will start looking for a larger place where the both of us can live. At this point in time, Eric is living in some sort of housing for the homeless.
I see. You guys will have a lot of challenges ahead of you from now on.
And now that I have him with me, I'm going to use our time together as a way of changing my ways for the better as well. Lila, seriously, thank you so much for what you've said.
You really do not have to thank me for any of this. I was also used and fooled by that idiot. Well, I wish you the best of luck with the new life you both have together. You beautiful princess, you. After that, Eric and Claire were able to rent themselves a really, really cheap apartment. And that is where the both of them began their marriage. Along with all the debt that Eric was already in, there was also the cost of the wedding, and the cost of the night cruise that needed to be added into that. And right now, the two of them are working super hard to get all of that paid off in the coming years. On another happy note, Claire's parents happened to learn about what had happened to her and Eric, and so they offered their support in making sure they could start paying everything off. And with the help of her parents, they are still able to make ends meet while powering through Eric's horrible debt. Claire is still working the job she's always been at, and a part-time job on top of that. Eric, on the other hand, was able to find himself a part-time job as well, and is working diligently to find himself a full-time job. The life they're both living now may seem like hell to a lot of people, but it's helping the both of them grow even closer to one another as they face each challenge together. They are both growing stronger together as well, and them noticing that in each other has really boosted their confidence. The two of them never really listened to my warnings at the beginning of all this, but after that final stunt by Eric, he's never gone back to gambling again. Of course, I'm certain he's aware that Claire will only stay with him as long as he doesn't gamble, so he's got to stay on top of not falling back into it. It makes me happy knowing the both of them are working hard together to fight all their weak points, even though I still won't ever call them anything more than complete losers. As for myself, I'm living with my new husband in a house of our own. My husband is not in any kind of debt and has a proper job that he plans on staying at all his life. It may seem as though he is a bit boring, being so simple, but when I think of how Eric was, there are no complaints from me.